TMF decided to deploy orchestration to solve that dusty and inner drawer problem and actually bring the service and the process catalogs and the service catalogs into life day to day. But back when we first started working together, not many people were even talking about orchestration. So how did you get introduced to it?
Sure. So first of all, we said to ourselves, what if instead of a Word document that collects a lot of data and goes in a drawer, or what if instead of an Excel document that has a lot of metrics on it that also goes in a drawer or stays in a shared drive, what if we have those documents be the living documents where people basically deliver services through those documents?
Okay.
Well, a document wasn't going to cut it. But then we were introduced to the world of orchestration, which meant that we could get all the information that we had in those documents, put it in a workflow tool, and have the user almost live every day through the documents as they were doing every single piece of delivery as per the service catalog.
Got it. So that was your approach to bringing orchestration in, and actually that view of orchestration. You've said workflow. Actually, how would you define orchestration?
To be honest, Kit, it took me a while.
Okay.
It took me some months to really understand the power of orchestration, because as we've discussed before, we had dusty SOPs in Word documents, KPIs in Excels, automations that were part of the process. And the question was, how can we make those documents a living, working environment for a user, whilst making sure that each person executes the right portion or their right involvement in a particular process?
Okay.
And that's where we understood what orchestration really meant. So how would I describe it in TMF? I like to use an analogy, and the analogy is that of a beating operational heart.
Okay.
That beating heart is what makes everything around it function. Let me explain. So if we have orchestration, in this case Enate, as the beating heart, driving the end-to-end process from the beginning to the end, but also during that process, engaging different human beings, potentially in different locations, at the right time, in the right process, but also engaging automations or digital workers to support those humans at the right time, in the right process, then it's like an orchestra director telling his orchestra and his different instruments when to engage for a good output, which in case of an orchestra, it would be a beautiful song. In the case of TMF with the beating heart, it would be a flawless service.